So the interview is I don't know if you like it so far, but I think it's super good. The interviewer is very good, and the interviewee is excellent. So the approach that he chooses for this program is not to just simply discuss philosophers and their theories, but he changes it around. So he's asking moral questions, and then answers these moral questions, these ethical problems, from the perspective of different philosophers. So it gives you a much better like toolkit, or that where you can pick your different instruments and from different philosophers to deal with the everyday lives, the everyday life. So that is, I think it's a good approach. It's also the approach for his YouTube channel, School of Life, where he's dealing with all kinds of challenges that you have or may have as a human being, making it very practical, but with a solid basis in philosophy. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching this.
Oh, did you see
video.
all of those?
Yes.
Oh, really? This is more than 1 hour.
Yeah, but it's fascinating, and yeah, I liked it a lot.
Are you going to explain, or are you going to show continue?
Yeah, well, he does a very good job explaining himself, but I think we will have several times in the video when we need to stop and make parallels with what we have studied before, or what we have seen before, and put things into context, or when there is a definite parallel with Confucius or other philosophers, so that we can keep the story going instead of just watching the video.
Yeah, as you know, that I'm teaching Spirits of Japan, actually the Confucianism, every Saturday morning, 2 or 3 hours. But it will take 1 year. And finish 1 year, again the same, I'm going to teach it start again, because I can find a new thinking approach, thinking way, or some concept. So it takes a long time. The Western philosophy is the same. So not easy to understand. This is not knowledge, this is wisdom. Right?
So what I'm aiming to do is maybe not stay with Western philosophy for
exactly. I agree. I agree with you. I ask
will.
you to continue this kind of philosophy more longer, because 100% for sure, none of those cannot join this course. They don't want to join. Too difficult. Eckhart Tolle. Okay, just I viewed this video several times, not once or twice. It's very, sort of things, everything is so sophisticated. So
right.
If you're going to continue philosophy every week, none of people can join this course, especially
even Takahashi-san might give
yeah,
up.
no newcomer, but still he's enjoying. How come he's quite he's quite excited? He told me that.
No. His flight is almost right, 8:30. Yeah, right. Yeah, he's still there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, but
yeah.
I'm
Thank you, Takai-san.
I'm thinking about okay, we don't going to get into detail about. I think you are not so much familiar with philosophy itself, right? And
No.
so my concern is what I'm going to do next.
So basically, I want to kind of take that philosophy and bring it to the next step. Bring it back to global leadership, which is the theme of your school. And make up. Takashi-san is now.
Here.
So he's signing off because he's getting on board. So he's so basically, I was thinking of extending philosophy and moving into persuasion and critical thinking.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, Yuva, you wanted to say something? Is that correct?
Yeah, it is actually very difficult for me to understand regarding the philosophy and also the video just now you showed me, right? Alan de Botton, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the video is, but yeah. Also, mind you, we have also already been talking about this topic for quite a few weeks. So it's also a very short and quick recap of a lot of information. So don't feel bad if you don't get it all together. Basically, we are looking at this because it will give us a much better understanding as to why there are such big differences and why do differences exist between Western and Eastern philosophies and what they are, to better understand why people think the way that they do think based on their cultural background. And once you know why, it's also easier to see ways of improving or making people aware of their cultural framework, of their philosophy, and that will that will enable us to define concrete steps to actually bridge gaps between people in Japan and people outside of Japan. So that's the idea. Philosophers in themselves, they tell us a little bit of why we think what we are thinking. Why do we respond the way that we respond in daily life? Now, after we complete, we get a better understanding of our background. We will try to focus on critical thinking skills and argumentation with these philosophers in mind. So it will hopefully will become very much more practical in how we can build bridges between Japan and the rest of the world, which is the objective.
Just exactly.
Of
this is very important. Like philosophy is focused on human being, right? And Japanese people is kind of huge village, and they don't make discussion and debate because cultural fundamental base is very broad, and with that word they understand each other. Sort of area, they have huge area, but
Right.
not Japanese people, but going outside Asian people, their cultural background, religious background, and they have also multicultural, multi-religious environment they have. So they more need to talk, need to discuss. Otherwise, they cannot. Very difficult to understand each other. This is the fundamental base for any kind of business, right? Business itself.
Right.
Okay, you are experienced expert for accounting or marketing and sales and something else or manufacturing whatsoever, but you should to know about negotiation skill and communication skill is very important, right? So sort of issues much more emphasized on rest of the world rather than only Japanese people. So this is my understanding, right?
Right.
That's the reason
Right.
philosophy is very important. So you said global management skill or some communication skill is basically based upon philosophy, Western philosophy, just
Yes.
like Socrates.
Right. So basically, what it boils down to, we have this is kind of like a fundamental layer, just like religion, history, philosophy. These are drivers that form and shape the way that we think, the way that we act. So the awareness of that is very important. Then the next step is to actually, okay, how do you use that knowledge in order to become more persuasive. But persuasiveness is just one element, because actually, if you take that further, is that how do you build up trust relationships with people who are not member of your own culture? That is the basis of business, I think. So the foundational layer, philosophy and religion, our backgrounds. Then the practical layer, how can we apply that and there's this awareness of differences between this fundamental layer, and applied it to become persuasive to other people from different cultures. But persuasiveness is just a matter of building relationships, because we can ignore everything and try to be persuasive and engage in win-lose negotiation, but that will not build long-term relationships, which is especially ineffective when, for example, dealing with Chinese where relationships mean a lot, and trust is the beginning of a lifetime commitment from both sides. So it's not that being persuasive, being having a good and effective way of negotiating with this other side is not a matter of winning and losing, but it's more a matter of, okay, how do I build up a relationship with somebody from a different culture?
はい、皆さんこんにちは、雲野です。今日はですね、雲野塾の研修のプログラムをご紹介したいと思います。で、こういうふうなホームページありますけれども、ぜひですね、一度中身をご覧になっていただきたいと思います。今日は VCube さんのスタジオに来て、この収録をしておりますので、中身はこういうふうになってて、今最近ホットなね、グローバルリーダーの定義など書いてあります。で、特に経団連が作成しました留学すれば英語ができて専門性を持つというだけではですね、グローバルリーダーになれないとここに書いてありますようにですね、仕事ができる、専門性を持つ、英語ができるだけじゃなくてですね、私どもの塾ではリベラルアーツということ、それからもう一つは孫子の平和、さらにはですね、日本の歴史というものを合わせて教えることによって皆さんが海外の欧米の方々と、もしくは華僑圏の方々と正々堂々と渡り合えるような人物を育成しようというふうなことを考えています。ここに次のスライドが出ておりますけれども、ここに書いてありますのはですね、さらに、私どもの雲野塾の中身につきましてはですね、欧米の資料しか使っておりません。また実際に雲野塾は英語でやっておりますので、英語の講師がこう話しておりますけど、学習はですね、日本の歴史をまだ教えてますので、学習の午後はですね、日本のプログラムをしております。で、以前はこれ有料だったので、今はですね、実際に会場費も取っていただいておりませんで、毎回5000円ということで、朝9時から午後5時までやっておりますので、ぜひ皆さんですね、ご検討の上ご参加いただければと。英語のできない方もですね、学習の午後こういうふうな検証をしておりますので、ぜひご参加いただければというふうに思っておりますので、よろしくお願いします。で、ここにさらにですね、グループ討議とか実務の勘どころを教えると書いてありますけど、実際には私が10年ほどですね、欧米の新聞とか雑誌等をですね、集めてきた、もともと英語のベースでございますので、そうしたものをですね、50セッションのテーマに分けて資料を作成しております。そういうことで、世界のオペレーション、もしくはカントリーリスクも含めてですね、しかも世界のトップの方々に対してもいろいろな分析とか洞察をしてですね、議論をしております。そういったことも含めてですね、今後ともよろしくお願いしたいと思います。以上で私の挨拶を終えますが、今回のこのビデオの収録にあたってはですね、VCube さんのスタジオをお借りしてですね、お時間を頂戴して、このビデオを作成させていただきました。よろしくお願いします。どうもありがとうございました。